All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for being here today. We just want to have a conversation centered around this idea of mental health. How is it affecting us in our own lives, and specifically with respect to just the idea of social media? I would love to just open it up by asking you guys, what do you guys think are some of the biggest obstacles in our culture today surrounding our mental health? What are some of the biggest barriers or biggest influences that negatively affect our mental health?
One thing that's really brought some attention and some problematic tendencies is like social media, because now everything that you do can be seen by other people. You kind of have the temptation to live for what other people are going to like, because if you post the right things, you can relate to certain people. Instead of living our life at a pace that's healthy for us, we try to do as much as we can so that we'll be accepted by people.
I also think social media can be hard because you want to be so perfect for everybody because everybody's seeing it. You don't want to post the wrong thing because everybody will judge it. So I think that's definitely something that's kind of difficult.
Yeah, or even if you leave social media or choose to delete those apps, you still feel left out of a whole nother world that I would feel I'm not a part of their lives anymore, which is also just a struggle that I face.
I feel a lot of times we look to celebrities or popular people and we look at their life and we're okay, I want to live like this. We don't live for Jesus sometimes, and I feel we have to pull ourselves back and be hey, that's their life. It's not my life.
Yeah, that's so true. The standard ends up being the top 5% in the world.
Yeah.
As you guys go about your day and you're seeing those things, right? You're seeing those images. You're seeing the top 5%, the top 1% do what they do. What is that doing to your guys' mind?
You're constantly trying to be seen a certain way and strive to be different than who you actually are. You're going against who God made you to be.
That's another thing I feel we do a lot on social media is we fake things. And I feel faking our faith is a trend on social media. I've noticed a lot.
But the thing is, we fail every day. We make mistakes every day, all the time. And we know that. But yeah, we still try and put up a perfect front. And for me, I'm definitely a perfectionist, and I wouldn't say I hate it, but it's a part of my story because of it, I went through anxiety, and almost a year ago today, that's when I started it. And for me, living that perfect life controlled me instead of having the Lord control me in my life.
Yeah.
Comparison kind of leads to a competitive-based life and a performance-based life where you feel you're rewarded on what you do rather than who you are.
Sure. Do you think that's why people in our generation are leaving the church in droves right now? Because everywhere that they are looking, they see inauthenticity.
I've seen that personally, even with my friends, they'll be going to church and stuff, and then they'll just be yeah, there's just this one person there, and they're super nice to me at church, but then when we're at school or if we're at home and they're texting me, they're so different and they're so fake.
Do you guys feel the pressure to build your own brand? Our social media platforms are essentially a brand for us to make our name, right?
A lot of people are probably going to look at my Instagram before they meet me in person, or they do meet me in person and have a 30-second conversation and then look me up online.
You can't please everyone.
Right.
I definitely feel for me, building a brand is important because I do want to do music, forever. Yeah. But at the same time, it's hard because I feel in order to gain the following that I need, I have to be a certain person, even though that person isn't necessarily me.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you guys feel that strain of trying to manage that many relationships in your guys' life, or do you feel you've been able to separate the social media game from your in-person inner circle?
It's a lot easier to get a follower on social media and turn it into a friend than it is to make a friend and then they follow you on social media.
When you have friends on social media and maybe you meet them on social media, you can have a very easily fake relationship, and you might reply to each other's stories or comment on each other's pictures, but you see each other in person and you just walk the other way. And I have had that happen to me so many times. And I'm the type of person, I struggle with relationships. I've moved a couple times in my life, and just the type of person I am too, it's hard for me to make friends.
Yeah.
And then having that happen to you, like, it's like, oh, what's wrong with me? You know, and it makes you worry about that, and like, why does this person not want to be my friend, or why are they not checking in on me, why are they not talking to me anymore? And social media plays such a big role in that and just takes fake relationships to the next level.
Sure. Think about the pace that we live our lives at, right? And before COVID, the buzzword that everyone would say is, I'm busy. Why do you think we're so drawn to wanting to feel busy? What type of impact does that have on our mental health?
When we're busy, like, we like to feel accomplished and productive. So when we're busy, we're doing things, and usually they're good things.
Yeah.
And so we can check off the boxes, make ourselves feel good.
We always want to be busy as like a distraction because we know that like when we really spend time with God, he's not going to like what we're doing.
Sure. Do you guys see the cycle, right? We stay busy, but then we feel guilty about being busy, so then we post that we're intimate or close with God, which leads to us feeling guilty for feeling inauthentic, which drives people away, which just drives us to be busy again, right? Think about what that's doing to our mental health, right? Just the restlessness that we're feeling all of the time trying to maintain an image that we know deep down we don't even want to maintain, but we feel this obligation to maintain, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys think that the percentage of teenagers who are struggling with mental health are actively is the same percentage of teenagers who are actively seeking help with their mental health?
No way.
Not at all.
No? Why is that?
I mean, like, when I went through it, the very few people I told just told me it was in my head, or that I was just stressed, or that I'm not thinking about the right thing. Like, they just don't want to accept. They don't understand how I feel, you know, like, and you're scared then to reach out and get help from somebody because everybody's like, well, you're wrong, but they don't understand how you feel. My anxiety got so bad to where I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything without just being anxious and thinking about, oh, I have to go do this. To the point where I quit soccer, and I've played soccer for 12 years, and I have never had that thought cross my mind. And that's when I knew something was like very serious, and that's something I needed to take care of.
I also think it's just so difficult to be like vulnerable to people about what you're struggling through because not everyone can relate to them and not everyone's going to be able to help you.
Yeah.
I think another thing could be people are afraid of the way it's going to be handled. Even though they know they have issues and like know they need to get help, they don't want to because they don't want to like suffer the consequences in order to like get healthy.
Yeah. It's just so imperative for us to have people in our lives who we can open up to, talk vulnerably with, and just be authentic with, right? Because in a world that's pulling us and pressuring us to be anyone except who we really are, we hopefully have people in our lives who we can authentically be real with and be who God has called us to be. So guys, thank you so much for just your vulnerability, your willingness to have this conversation, and I'm certain that it's gonna impact a lot of people. So you guys are awesome.
100%.
Hey guys, if you like the video, move the cursor that you see on your screen to the like button and click. While you're at it, take that same cursor to the subscribe button, also click. Seriously, you're not going to want to miss out on what's coming up.